Siamukela nonke lapha emakhaya and welcome to Bona Retsang, the only youth news and magazine show dedicated for you, the youth of Mzansi. Do remember that this is also the perfect show for you to voice your opinion on any issue that is affecting you.
That's right, guys. Make sure that you drop us a post on our Facebook page, or you could always follow us at Bona Retsang on Twitter. For more detailed information on the show or the presenters, check out our funky website and get updated.
Zach, I think I'm ready to find out what's lined up for today's show, so why don't we go check out today's headlines. First up, we take a look at the importance of power saving.
We then hook you up with the latest in glitz and glam on Mgosi.
Then on Scamto, we found out more about the iSchool Africa initiative.
And then, of course, our main man, Bugumamboba, gives us the lowdown of the week. Wow, that looks like an interesting lineup, and we do have that and a lot more lined up for you guys. But for now, let's head straight into the Big Buzz story.
Yes, and on today's Big Buzz story, we take a closer look at power saving. Mtoba Chapi has the lowdown.
The world needs to be powered up so that we can see in the dark, cook our food when we are hungry, and watch our favorite TV programs when we want to get informed. Now, all of this is made possible by a negative and a positive charge that we call electricity. But what happens when one day it all gets taken away from us?
Electricity is something that I think makes the world go round. So without electricity, the world is doomed.
The economy wouldn't function because we'd have unemployment.
The benefits would be that we'd have fewer coal emissions because we wouldn't have to ban coal.
At the moment, South Africa is struggling to ensure that every single household has full access to electricity. Hence, we always get regular notifications from Eskom on how to use electricity wisely so that we always have it. However, how many of us ever heed the call?
I personally don't comply because I do not find it in me to stand up.
I don't really comply with the Eskom messages because I don't have a lot of appliances to switch off.
Electricity is made from coal, natural gas, nuclear gas, wind farms, solar and hydropower plants. Some of the methods like burning coal and natural gas can hurt the environment. For an example, burning coal causes carbon dioxide that can cause global warming. This resulted in the whole world taking part in Earth Hour on Saturday night between 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. to show that we can save electricity for a cleaner planet.
Earth Hour is the biggest global environmental campaign. We're not saying that electricity and energy to power lights and so on is a bad thing, but we are saying that the way in which we do it in South Africa is not sustainable, and we need to change that.
So what can we do at home to ensure that we use less electricity?
There's sun, solar and wind mechanisms that we want to see becoming the primary way of generating electricity.
Maybe switching off geysers when we go to school or work.
The best thing is to use alternative energy because it's the very best we can do right now.
Using alternative energy sources would also help.
Going without electricity for an hour can be tough in the modern world. But imagine not having electricity at all, simply because we couldn't switch off unused appliances for just 1 hour on a daily basis. Mtoba Chapi, Bona Retsang.
Guys, do make sure that you try and save as much power as you can, even if it's switching off lights that you're not using or even the plugs that you don't use. Do believe me, it will be worth it.
I couldn't have said it any better, PK. But up next on the lineup is World What's Up, and we travel to the Central African Republic to find out more about the conflict in the region. Mtoba, our Bona Retsang journalist, reports.
Bafana Bafana played Central African Republic in a FIFA World Cup qualifier last week. Bafana Bafana won the game. And while we were celebrating, South African soldiers were being killed in that country. Central African Republic has a group of people who are known as rebels trying to take over the government in that country. Unfortunately, our soldiers were in their way.
The government does not concentrate its energy much on training soldiers and on fighting other countries and all that, because we don't even have much wars happening in Africa.
Wars should be treated in a proper manner.
I really feel that rebels are really not necessary, because all they do is cause unnecessary war.
Rebels trying to take over a country by force is not a new thing in Africa. Rebels usually do not have enough manpower to successfully commit their tasks. Therefore, they end up resorting to the cheapest form of labor: child soldiers. Many children around the world are recruited into armies and sometimes fight for causes they are too young to understand.
It's really sad to have child soldiers, because in a country, the government is aiming at educating children and not having illiterate children.
Most children don't know what they're getting into. What happens is they're either abducted by the group from their villages, or they're given up by the village as protection against attack. So the rebel group would threaten to attack the village unless the villagers gave up some of their children.
If children are supposed to be forced to war and children are dying at war, it's very sad.
What then happens is that even though they didn't know what they were getting into, they're threatened with death, so they go and they hurt a family member or kill a family member, which then means that they can't actually go home either. So they can't leave the rebel group because they have nowhere to go. And so often they stay in the rebel group, which makes it even sadder, because not only did they not know why they're there, but now they can't leave either.
They are being deprived of their rights, because they should be getting an education and becoming what they want to be in the world. They shouldn't be in war.
The reality is that children are being taught that violence is the only way to solve problems. More and more children on the African continent are becoming child soldiers because of the failure by adults to solve problems without conflict. Mtoba Chapi, Bona Retsang.
Violence is definitely not the way to solve such problems. Let's all try stand together and fight against children being forced to join such wars. Zach, my boy, so what's up next on the lineup?
Well, next on the lineup is News Recap. Now, for the past few years, the ANC Youth League has been causing so much controversy within politics. The question is, has the drama that they have been causing driven the ANC to see the end of the ANC Youth League, or will they come up with a new way to bring it back to life? Gino reports.
The African National Congress has disbanded the National Executive Committee of its very own youth wing. Yes, you heard right. The ANC Youth League leaders have been kicked out by their parent body and are now set to be replaced. Now, some of you are wondering, who exactly is the ANC Youth League? What have they done for us? And should we really care whether they change leadership or not?
What I think about ANC Youth League, for me it means nothing, because it has never benefited me with anything.
It's an organization which has been brought up by the ANC.
It's youth getting together as one, as a family, and they put different minds and they try to help the youth of South Africa.
The purpose of the Youth League was to mobilize young people behind the vision of the ANC, of a non-racial, non-sexist, democratic and prosperous South Africa.
Many a times, many people don't know what are young people saying. We've heard this question come up again. What are the views of young people? What are the concerns of young people? Those are not coming out because now the ANC Youth League is not playing its role of listening to young people and therefore then relaying these views out there of what young people are thinking. We are supposed to be advocates of young people, and our role is not being played.
Isn't it time that new faces with fresh ideas took on the age-old struggle? Follow me on Twitter at JustGinoSA or join us on Facebook, Bona Retsang, and let us know what you think. This is Gino Shedile for BR.
I really wonder what you guys think about all of this, but do make sure that you follow the news and find out what the outcome will be.
I know I will be PK, but now let's see what our Ngosi slot has for us today.
It's time for you to get your weekly dose of entertainment news right here on Ngosi. You know what they say, never interrupt the dead from their sleep. Well, this past weekend, Bongani Fassi kind of did the opposite. when he decided to share the stage with his late mom, music superstar Brenda Fassie. A hologram of the superstar rocking a blue jumpsuit was meant to be Umabru, but unfortunately, this clearly did not work out. Brenda's hologram actually didn't even look like the late star. A small blue moving image, Tokolosh lookalike, which hung around the back of the stage, was meant to be Brenda. Kodwa bongani, maybe next time when you want to pay tribute to your award-winning mom, who happened to change the music industry, can you try and make it worth it? And peeps on Twitter, it's called a hologram, not a holocaust. In other news, Ryan Gosling and Charlize Theron are reported to be lined up to play a biopic of the tragic story of Oscar Pistorius and Reeva Steenkamp. Two scripts are being developed in Hollywood about Pistorius, who is accused of murdering Steenkamp, and with announcements expected soon from one of the major film studios. This would be one great movie, but just hold your horses, none of the actors have confirmed anything, so we will have to wait and see. Well, that's the wrap for this week's See?
Wow, the Oscar and Reeva movie, that is one I would definitely like to see. I mean, will Ryan Gosling even be able to pull off the South African accent?
Zach, stop being jealous, please. You know that Ryan is amazing, and I'm sure he'll do very well. But now let's take a quick break. When we return, we have more lined up just for you. You're back on Bona Retsang. Yes, and it's time for us to head over to Uskamto. Now, do remember, each week we take a closer look at your human rights. What are they and what do they really mean to you?
That's right, guys. And today we found out more about iSchool Africa's press teams, an initiative that gives the youth of Mzansi the chance to voice their opinions creatively about issues in our society that bother them.
Initially, how the iSchool Youth press team started was in 2010 when the World Cup was happening in South Africa. We wanted to hear from young South Africans about what is happening in their communities. So they already had equipment in their schools. So they got cameras and they went out there and reported on what was happening in their communities related to the World Cup. Every month we have different themes, and most of our themes are related to what is happening within our society. How iSchool Africa is involved is we show the kids how to use the cameras. So we teach them camera angles, we teach them about planning, about storyboarding, all of that stuff.
You have the right to say no. If you don't like what somebody is doing, if that person doesn't want to stop, be firm. Don't worry about hurting someone's feelings.
I think that this is a great program because what we do is we try and get kids to focus on content that is topical, to focus on issues that are happening in their community, to read the papers more, and to report on things that are happening. So we want them to be aware of what's happening in their community and in society. We recently took part in the Stop Rape campaign, which was an initiative started by Lead SA and the Department of Education. And we had a report back actually from Lead SA saying they had a lot of feedback from from society, saying how impressed they were with the content that was given and how powerful the videos were. I would encourage the youth of South Africa to, if you have a phone, if you've got a camera, it's easy now. Grab it, film it. It's easy to make a film. People are making films out of iPhones.
You know, it's always good to see young people trying to make a difference in their society. Well, Zach, what's up next?
Well, PK, it is now time for Be Media Wise, where you guys get the chance to send us a video on an issue affecting yourself or perhaps your community. Let's take a look at today's clip.
How do you feel about bullying?
I feel bullying is bad because people do not have a platform to express themselves because of bullying.
How do you feel about bullying?
It's bad. It's really bad.
Have you ever been bullied from the time you came to the school?
Yes, I have been, but the problem is...
What happened?
The boy wanted to steal my belt and my lunch.
And what did they do about it?
They suspended the ball.
Okay, thank you. I think that bullying at school should be stopped. Yeah. Why? Because you're the school through us. And how do you think it can be stopped? Shut up. Oh, whoa, if it happened to you, what would you do?
It won't happen to me because I can handle such situations. I know how to stand up for myself.
Thank you so much for that clip. Do remember to send through your clips to our WhatsApp number or our BBM pin. If they are longer than 2 minutes, then all you need to do is email them to our address, which is actually appearing on your screen right now.
That's right, guys. And next up is Ringanati. And today we hear about how you guys feel about entering the big world of tertiary education. This should be interesting.
I actually plan on going to varsity just for the education. I don't think I'm going there for anything besides education.
It's for the education, but then again, there is a point where you have to have fun. I mean, that's how life is. The thing that I fear the most in varsity, it's the workload.
I think what I'd fear the most is actually time spent there, because I won't have enough time to be an outgoing person.
Well, basically the exciting part about going to varsity is meeting new people, making new friends, learning more about yourself.
I don't fear the fact that I'm going to lose myself in the tertiary life, because I'm me. I don't do things to please people or anything. I am myself. It's either you like me or you don't like me.
Find yourself, be you, discover new things about yourself. Don't do it for other people or to please other people.
I won't lie, but I was extremely scared as well. But all of that passed when I made new friends and I was studying what I always wanted to study.
And remember, guys, last week's poll question was, are the libraries in SA communities and schools in a good state? Well, 85% of you said no.
This week's poll question is, do you think it's a good idea that the ANC get new youth league leaders? Send us your opinion on our Facebook page and we'll see what you guys think of the issue. But let's take a quick break. When we return, we take a look at what went down at the announcement of the SAMA nominations last week. See you after this.
Welcome back to Bona Retsang. That is right, guys. Don't forget to interact with us on our Facebook page by clicking the like button, or you can always drop us a tweet at Bona Retsang.
Yes, for now, let's move on to Bona Vibes, where we take a look at who's in line to win a South African Music Award this year.
The 20th of March marked the South African Music Awards nomination announcements and celebrations. Bona Retsang caught up with Mzansi's finest at the morning announcements to hear how they feel about their nominations and what the SAMAs mean to them personally.
It's a bit tough this year, I think, but for me the most important thing is that being nominated itself is a huge achievement, so whether I win or lose, whatever happens, it happens, it's God's will be done.
I think everyone here today, musicians sit for hours and hours in their rooms as youngsters, writing, playing, just practicing, and everyone's telling them, come out of your room and get a life. And today, all those hours are worth it.
It costs a lot of money to market yourself, and some of the times it's the guys with the most money that get that get the sales, that get the shows, and the SAMAs give you that platform for absolutely free. And music shouldn't have to be something that you have to pay for to get recognized. So it's great for all the nominees, man, today, and especially for all the young guys that we haven't heard of before.
People are really starting around the world to take SA, up there with the big dogs, that we can do this. And we do have artists in South Africa who are doing amazing things and pushing the envelope. So I'm really proud to be part of the SA music industry.
I can't wait for the summers to happen. It was definitely life-changing for me, and I'm sure it will be for the upcoming nominees.
Of the 38 categories, the heavily contested ones are Album of the Year, Female Artist of the Year, Male Artist of the Year, and Newcomer of the Year. Won last year by Zahara for Loliwe, Zahara again as Female Artist of the Year, rapper AKA, and Zahara again as Newcomer of the Year, respectively. There was a huge turnout at the celebrations held at the Sands in Sandton later that evening, as performances by house group Mikasa, R&B singers Zonke, Lloyd Cele, Loiso Bala, and Afrotainment's Big Naz set the crowd alight with their smooth rhythms. We also got a chance to squeeze in a photo with the ever-gorgeous Boiti Tulo. Yeah, me.
Also spotted at the celebrations were Kwaito legend Arthur Mafukati, Lerato Kganyago, songstress Lira, model and TV presenter Pearl Tusi, lyricist Reason, and Kelly Kumalo, who is still flaunting her heart tattoo. The actual award ceremony will be held at Sun City, just outside of Rustenburg Northwest, on the 11th of May. Save the date and follow us on Twitter at Bona Retsang to see all the nominations for the different categories. This is Gino Shedile for PR.
Ah man, Gino, all I can say is that I am totally jealous. I wish that I was there with you, my man.
My friend, do not stress. One day you'll get your chance under the spotlights, yeah? But now it's time for us to get out of here. But you know, we always leave you in capable hands of Boogleman Baba. So, Boogo, hook us up, boy.
Hello and welcome to Bona Retsang. It's your boy Boogerman to the B. Yes, Boogerman Baba. And I'm going to give you a wrap-up of the week's news. First up, Julius Malema's farm has been seized. I mean, this is scandalous. Wasn't Julius Malema the one who was singing, shoot the bua, the farmer, Ganti, the whole time he had a farm? I mean, this is sad. Juju Baby is now broke. Not so long from now, he'll be joining South Africa's tea girl, Lindiwe Mazibuko, in the kitchen. Next up, a library in Limpopo has encouraged teachers to please bring the children to the library. I mean, this is a great idea. What a good way to pass time while the children still wait for their textbooks. Speaking about school children, in the Western Cape, it's been reported that 20,000 schoolgirls fall pregnant yearly. I mean, it's obvious that in the Western Cape, these children really do take their biology seriously. All right, now moving on to Pretoria, a 2-meter-long black mamba has gone missing. The zoo official has said, no, don't worry, it's somewhere. I mean, come on, guys, you can't tell us not to worry, especially after the Anaconda Festival. And come on, it's a black mamba. It probably just jumped the fence and went to the nearest KFC. All right, now moving on to some international news. Asian rapper Psy has said that he is sick of the Gangnam Style. Come on, Psy, aren't we all sick of that song by now? He says that the song has moved from Oppa Gangnam Style to Please Stop the Gangnam Style. Anyways, that's it from us here at Bona Retsang. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. You know how we do it. All day, a day. Hello, Black.